Hello, everyone. Big welcome to our Team Evolve Thursday Testimonial Patching Podcast. Today, my name is Peter No. I am your Senior Presidential Director here with LifeWave, and I have my beautiful co-host, which I haven't seen for a while, Miss Leah Stasney, all the way from Texas, Houston. How are you doing this evening, Leah?
I'm doing fantastic. Survived Hurricane Beryl, and I've got power.
You got power because all of us send you a lot of prayers and energy all the way out to Texas, as is a big state. But we're so happy that everyone is safe, and you know how we always have our family nights here every single night. So it's so nice to see you. So good to have you here, and so good to have all our brand new guests tonight. If you're a brand new guest, if you have been invited by your friend, your family member, or your partner, your neighbor, someone you met at Starbucks, in the next 30 minutes, you're going to be hearing some incredible testimonials of short-time users and long-time users of this amazing technology that you're going to hear about. And also after that, Leah is going to come back and share how this technology works, why it works. And after that, I'm going to share with you who's behind it. So without further ado, Leah, I'm going to pass it on to you.
Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited to join you here tonight. I'm going to go ahead and read off our little disclaimer. LifeWave products are not intended to treat, cure, diagnose, or prevent any disease. If you're pregnant or nursing, consult your physician. If you're on any type of medications or have any medical conditions, talk with your practitioner. Our call tonight is for educational purposes only. So with that, Mr. Peter, I'm going to bring on someone who's very near and dear to my heart, my nephew, Seth. And I'm going to bring Seth on, and I'm going to let Seth share as much of his story as he wants to. But like Peter said, he's our short-term user tonight. He's been patching since February. But I want him to share with you how his life has changed since this technology, since he and I have reconnected and I have introduced this technology to him. So Seth, thank you so much for coming on, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell us a little bit, tell us how old you are, a little bit again of what you want to share, kind of where you were in January, what happened in February, and where you are today, buddy.
Yes, ma'am. I'll be completely honest and share everything. My name's Seth Stasney. 36 years old. I'm from Houston, Texas. I've suffered from addiction for a good part of my life, and in January I decided to get sober and was very serious about it. And so I started going to counseling, and they prescribed me to medication called Suboxon. It's for opiate withdrawals. It's to get off the opiates, and you take the medication, but in a sense, it's an opiate too. It's a drug too, and it weans you down off of your withdrawals. And I was on 16 milligrams a day, and that's 2 strips a day. And so I started that right. I got sober January 10th, and I started on the Suboxone like 2 or 3 days later. I went and picked up my prescription, and I was taking them 2 a day every day. And if anybody knows anything about Suboxone, that's a pretty high dosage. And so I mean, I was on those faithfully. Everything was, I was going to meetings, counseling. I was getting very serious, about my sobriety and everything. And my Aunt Leah, we started talking, and she was telling me about what she was doing and about the patch and everything. And she asked me if I wanted to try it out, and I told her sure. So she sent me the patch, and she sent me the patch, and it was around the end of February whenever I started patching. And I did just like she told me every day, right here on my back when I wake up in the morning. And she sent me the X39, and I've been doing it every day since. But I started doing the patch, and with addiction, it messes with your serotonin and your what controls your emotions. So you're not exactly happy, or you might not want to get out of bed and be motivated and do things because your brain has to get back to normal, and I started doing the patch, and I just kind of started doing it, and I started I started getting more energy and more, but I was still taking the Suboxone, and I was seeing feeling the results, and just I was feeling better, and took the patches every day, and sort of the middle of April, I had still taking the Suboxone every day and doing the patches. I got sick, and it was just kind of like a cold, kind of like, and I didn't feel good, and I went to take the Suboxone, and it made me feel worse. So I was like, I didn't take it that next day. I was sick, so that was day one of not taking it. So then I was like, all right, well, I'd been praying, and I wanted to get off the Suboxone because it's a drug in itself, and it's hard to get off of that too, and it's not. I mean, how I got off of it doesn't happen like that. And anybody that's been on opiates or anything, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, I got sick, and that first day I didn't take it. So it went into day two, and I was like, I'm not taking it. I had been praying, and it was God answering my prayers. So I told myself I'm gonna suffer these withdrawals, and I'm gonna just go ahead and get off of this medication. And the withdrawals are worse. You're supposed to taper yourself down because they're strips, and they're sublingual, and they have little notches in it, and you're supposed to cut them in eighths or quarters, eighths, and you're supposed to taper yourself down off of it. Well, I decided I was going to just quit cold turkey and just see how I felt. And I knew in the back of my mind that I had my strips I could take more if I started getting too sick or withdrawal too bad. And so 2 days went into three, and I was not feeling like I wasn't feeling sick anymore in withdrawals at all. And I mean, the only thing, and then three went into four, and four went into five, and I could only sit there. And I was just thinking, I was like, man, any day is coming because it's bad. It's cold sweats, it's your aching bones. I mean, excuse me, but it's diarrhea. I mean, you can't even control it. It's so bad, and I mean, you literally have to lay in bed close to a restroom because you won't even be able to make it to the bathroom. That's how bad the withdrawals are off opiates. And the Suboxone is even worse. And I've withdrawn several times off of opiates before. And 4 days went into 5 days went into 6. And I mean, it was the patches and God, and I mean, I didn't suffer any withdrawals at all, and it was a miracle, and I was able to get off the Suboxone, and I'm sober to this day. I got 6 months yesterday. Yesterday was July the 10th. My sobriety day is January the 10th. And so I mean, it's just, I feel good every day. I have energy. I didn't, I mean, it's all due to my faith in the patches. I believe in it. And I'm still on my journey, and I'm still staying strong, and I'm still doing the patches every day. And that's pretty much it. So
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your story with so many people. The chat's blowing up. So you'll have to go back and read all of those. So as you guys know, it's close to my heart. So I'm so blessed that you said yes.
Yeah.
So with that, Peter, I'm going to throw it over to you and let you talk to Miss Christina.
Wow. Huge congratulations, Seth. I don't even know how many people around the world is going to be inspired by this story. And thank you for sharing that light. Oh, I love these short-term testimonials, like where, the experiences, like miracle stories happen quickly. And then also, Leah, we love the long-term one, because everyone always asks, why do I need to take these patches for every day, right? Just like brushing our teeth every day so we can prevent a lot of things. So Christina Mathers, she's been on her patches for quite a while now, and you're gonna love her transformation. So, Christina, let me ask you to unmute. There we go.
Hi, Peter. Hi, everybody.
How are you doing this evening?
Oh, I'm terrific. Thank you for having me on here tonight. I'm so excited to share my long-term patching results with everyone.
So, Christina, before we get started, it's good to see you again. I know it's been a couple of years since you've been on here, so you have a lot to follow up with. But can you take everyone back to how long you've been on the patch, what happened in the beginning stages, and then guide us through till now?
Sure. So if it's okay, I'm going to share my story, and then I'm going to actually share a little bit about my husband's story too, because he had some amazing results, and he's also been on them for 2 years. So he had some short-term and long-term results. So I will be 47 this year. I have had Lyme disease for 12 years. I had terrible fatigue in my mid 30s. My fatigue was so bad with the Lyme disease that I would go to the gym, work out, and then I'd come home and feel like I had to sleep the rest of the day. It really took a lot out of me just to function every day with 2 young kids, and just, taking care of them and function with the Lyme disease. I didn't have a lot of joint pain, so I was lucky there. But the problem with Lyme disease is it's kind of like having termites in your body. The outside looks great, but the inside is constantly being eaten away by the Lyme bacteria and other bacteria in your body. So it's a constant battle to kind of keep it in remission and keep it under control. So 8 years of the last 12, I have had a thyroid that didn't work at all. So I was on a very high dose of thyroid medicine for the last 8 years, and that dose would have to increase pretty much every year. My body just would not make enough, and it would increase every year. So for 8 years, I was on that. And then 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with alopecia, which is when your hair starts falling out. I had a bald spot in the front. I don't know if you have the picture, Peter, of my forehead where I was missing my hair.
Let me pull it up real quick.
Sure.
That's your before and after. I want to actually hold on. There we go.
Yep.
This one right here?
Yep. So in the upper right-hand corner, you can see where I had a lot of hair missing. And I was diagnosed with a rare form of alopecia. My doctor told me there was no cure for it, and that the only thing we could really do was stop it from getting worse, which included monthly steroid injections into my scalp, and then twice daily steroid lotion applied to that spot. I did that for 8 months with no improvement. My hair was still falling out. It was still red. It was still inflamed. And also within the last 2 years, I was diagnosed with rosacea with cystic acne. And the acne was so bad, as you can see on my face, I had large breakouts that had to physically be drained by my dermatologist. She literally had to cut into my face and drain them herself. Yeah, it was awful, Peter. As a woman, when you start losing your hair, I started losing my hair, my skin started breaking out. I felt really ugly. And I started withdrawing from my social life, my friends and family, because I felt very ugly. And thank God my friend Janet reached out to me with this patch for my Lyme disease. And I started patching. Being a Lyme disease patient, I'm very open to alternative modalities. I've spent thousands of dollars or tens of thousands of dollars trying to get healthy. So when she said there was a simple patch I could wear, I was like, give it to me right now. So after 4.5 months of patching every day, I woke up one day and the redness on my scalp where the hair was missing was completely gone.
Wow.
And at that point, I had been using those steroids for 8 months with no improvement. I said from that day on, I was not going to use those steroids. I was going to roll the dice and see what happened. I've never had to use any steroids again. My hair completely grew in, as you can see. I have no baldness. It's thick and it's full. It grows like crazy. And my
No.
dermatologist was not interested in the patch
Wow.
when I
Wow.
told her my incredible results.
Look at
So,
the skin to your neck, to your skin,
yep,
to your hair, to the alopecia. Look
yep.
at you. Oh my God.
I
Wow.
know, it's incredible. My skin there, you can
Before
see
and
like
after, everyone. Look at
the left side of my, the left to the right. I mean, my face was so scarred from the cystic acne. I had pits, I had deep cut marks from hers, cutting into my skin. And I mean, I had some really deep scars, and my skin has just completely regenerated and come back to life. So I'm so thankful for that. I'm also off all my thyroid medicine and have been that way for over a year. My blood work is completely normal, and I have so much energy, Peter. I mean, I can tell you when I was in my mid 30s, I had no energy, and I was out paddleboarding in the Florida heat, which is about 100 degrees on Saturday for 5 hours on a stand-up paddleboard. And when I got home at 6 o'clock at night, I wasn't even tired.
wow.
I could have never done that 12 years ago or even 5 years ago. It is like, it's incredible the amount of energy I have. Like it's incredible, this patch. I wasn't sore the next day. I got up and I had things to do and I was ready to go at 8 a.m. on Sunday. Like, it was amazing. Yeah,
Man,
it's just incredible.
Christina, I mean, we've been doing this for almost 5 years now. And you've been on the patches for how long now exactly?
2
Since
years.
2 years, 24 months.
Mm-hmm.
Literally all these years of, I call suffering or sacrificing. And I mean, not alone just getting off the medications, okay, everyone, that is already like a blessing already in everything. But, for a woman to get her skin, her hair, everything from face, everything like changing, transformation. And just the amount of money that you spend on it too, so
Mm-hmm.
wow. La, any last words you want to tell everyone, Christina? Oh, and all this for literally less than a cup of coffee a day,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Well, I was spending $730 every 3 months for my thyroid medicine alone
Wow.
to get it
Wow.
compounded for me. But so I'm still using the patches. Obviously, it's like my little insurance policy. Nothing has popped up in the last year. I will tell you that I had stiffness and in my lower back when I would get up in the morning. I don't have that. I can literally just pop right out of bed. And high blood pressure runs in my family, but I don't have it. But anytime I would go to the doctor, I would get that like white coat hypertension where it would be around like 140 over maybe 80. And I was kind of, I was like, oh, I'm just, stressed about being here. I just have my blood pressure checked, Peter. It is the lowest it's ever been in my entire life. It's 115 over 80.
Wow.
And
Wow.
I've never taken any medicine, but literally at the doctor's office, it was 115 over 80. So, I mean, that's 2 years. So it just keeps getting better and better and better. And my husband, he also just had his blood pressure checked. It was 110 over 62. He
Wow.
couldn't believe it. They had to take it a couple times
So
because it was that low.
Christina, last question. So what do you guys do with all your health time and all this health for freedom from all your health issues now?
Well, one thing, my husband has not been able to fly in 20 years, Peter,
Wow.
due to anxiety about flying. And we've been married 21 years, and he was on the patch 6 weeks. He said, I'm ready to fly. Let's book a trip to the Bahamas. I'm going to start with a half-hour flight. Let's do it. Now he's been all over the country. And he's talking about going to Europe. And that is the only thing that changed was this patch. He said it was like a switch flipped in his brain. I am so thankful because now we can travel. I love to travel, and now we can do things that we never dreamed about doing. I am so grateful to this patch. It has changed his life and our lives. So thank you, David Schmidt.
I wish we had more time to get to ask more down, but I think everybody, all 250 of us tonight, and whoever watches this recording is going to resonate literally with Seth and Christina with, oh man, Leah, how does one little patch does this? So thank you, Christina, okay? And thank you, Seth, for sharing tonight. Can you share with our viewers tonight, Leah, how does this thing work? Why does it give so much miracles to the body?
Why is this little patch giving people their quality of life back? All right, you guys. Now, when we think of a patch, you are probably familiar with maybe a pain patch or an estrogen patch or a nicotine patch, where there is a chemical, a substance, a tincture on the patch that's going to transfer through your skin and get into your blood that way. That is not what the LifeWave patch is about, okay? I'm going to peel off the paper on the back so you guys can see it. It's a little white piece of fabric sandwiched between two polymer shells. You can see there's nothing on here. It's sticky and it's smooth, but that little white piece of fabric on the inside, what I'm going to share with you, and Peter will tell you a little bit later about the amazing, brilliant man behind this, what David has invented and embedded inside of this patch, you guys. It is a compound solution of organic amino acids, salt, sugar crystals, oxygen. Now think of a liquid molecular structure. Okay, it's embedded in this little piece of fabric, and it crystallizes in a very specific pattern, and it becomes reflective. So here's what happens when we put it on our body. Our bodies emit a low-level infrared light. And we know this because if we look through night vision goggles at night, we can see the colors radiating out off of our body. Well, there's a very specific wavelength of that light that reflects a signal off the patch back into the body, signaling a chain reaction of cellular communication to start happening again, because our cellular communication system breaks down as we age. You guys, what it does, it activates a copper peptide that our body makes, discovered in the human body 53 years ago by Dr. Lauren Picard. It's called GHKCU. Now, the benefits with this particular peptide is just mind-blowing. It has incredible benefits neurologically. You heard about Christina talking about how her husband felt a flip, that switch in the brain, right? Neurological support, vascular support, the skin. That was Dr. Picard's, one of the big things that he studied. He actually coined the term fountain of youth for this peptide. Well, one of the things David Schmidt has been studying for over 20 years is this cellular communication in our body. And one of the things that this copper peptide controls is our master cell system, our master repair cell system. Now, you guys, we have millions of these repair cells when we're younger. Now, the aging process, no one ever told us what that is. They told us the symptoms, right? The wrinkles, the lines, the aches, the pains. But the aging process is the fact that we lose our master cell activity as we start aging. By age 35, you guys, I thought middle age was 50. My grandmother was 105 when she died. No, 35 is middle aged, you guys. That was a long time ago for most of us on here, because 50% of our master cells, our repair system, is shut down. By age 60, 65, which I'm pushing, I'll be 60 next year. You guys, we only have about 8 to 10% of our body's repair system trying to heal and repair. That's why we see all of the issues that we see. So here's what happens. We put this patch on in the morning. We leave it on for 12 hours. We are activating and elevating, starting that cellular communication. All the cells are starting to talk to each other and get moving. We take it off at night and throw it away, 12 hours off. Now, the 12 hours off is just as important, you guys. That's repair and regeneration time. And Peter will share a little bit with you with the Navy SEALs and the reason why we're all here. But 12 on, 12 off. Now, remember, I said it's non-transdermal. There's no medicine on here. It's just a little reflective sticker patch. The one thing that's so important is you've got to drink water. Our cells need conductivity. They need hydration in order to communicate with each other. So 12 on, 12 off. Drink your water. 0 contraindications based on all of our clinical studies. Peter will share a little bit about that as well. We have over 90 clinical studies, scientific clinical studies done from third-party institutions around the globe. Patents. Peter will share about the patents. And with that, Peter, that's the simplicity behind the science and the technology, but there's so much more that we could talk about, right?
Oh, there's so much more, but again, this technology is so simple by just peeling it off exactly how Leah explained it and just patching it all over your body. I have the easiest job just to share with you who's the man behind it. His name is David Schmidt. And 20 years ago, I just kind of want to take everyone back. 20 years ago, what was the top hot topic, right? The internet wasn't even as strong as it is today. But we have our CEO, our scientist back then who already was thinking about a technology called phototherapy, okay? Photobiomodulation in terms, but phototherapy, simple words, light. How to activate the light in your body. So 20 years ago, David Schmidt was thinking about this technology because his vision was literally to reverse everything the world has done, okay? Literally take everything out of your body, and he tested it out on the Navy SEALs. It just all happened to work, and if the Navy SEAL says it's good, we're all good, right, Leah? So that was 20 years ago. So what happened in the last 20 years? What if I told you there is a company out there where its only purpose is to regenerate you and repair you? And David Schmidt has registered this technology all over the world to over 83 countries now. He has built a foundation where we don't buy this technology. Nobody else manufactures it for us. We actually make our own patches, okay? And we actually distribute them to all around the world also. And our company supports you by having 9 global offices, okay? I've had the pleasure of meeting 2 of them already, but Leah, we're gonna be traveling the world to see all of them one of these days. But the reason why I'm sharing to you is this information is because 20 years ago, if there was a man that's already visioning this, what is happening today? So the X39 took 10 years to develop. The X39 was released almost over 5-6 years now. And I came into the company almost in September will be my 5th year. And every single year since the day we came in, the company has grown over 2,000%. We are doing over $500 million in revenue by the end of this year. This company is only growing because we hear stories like Seth and Christina and thousands of us, even on our Team Evolve podcast here, because all we do here is just share. And if you have, or if you know someone, and if you resonate with these issues or these testimonials, all we ask you to do now is just come with us, join us. And by just you being on here, you just got information. But what we'd love for you to do is talk to the person that invited you here tonight. If you truly understand the value of stem cell activation, literally to activate your master cells, join us, okay? For less than a cup of coffee a day, for literally wholesale cost, you can activate yourself and you can activate your entire family, okay? For less than a procedure of a injection. So, Leah, what a great night tonight. Is there anything else you'd like to leave with our viewers?
Well, I do want to share. I hope we are going to see a lot of you at our Orlando event next Saturday. Peter and I will be there on stage. I put the, I can throw it in there again. I put the link to the event in the chat. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, get your tickets. We're going to be there. We've got a great, great full day lined up. So with
Awesome.
that,
Everyone, thank you for joining us. Talk to the person that invited you here tonight. Let them know you'd like to get activated. And Seth, thank you so much for your testimonial. Christina, always pleasure having you come back, and can't wait for the next testimonial. And always thank you to our Team Evolve community for supporting us every single night. And thank you for the guests for joining us. Talk to the person that invited you. And thank you for joining the live. Bye, everyone.
we'll see you on Monday. Bye.
See you Monday.